Sunday at 3 Eastern on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Start something new sales event at Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Rates as low as 2.9%.
New Ram 1500 Bighorns, 2.9% for 72 months.
If you can't come to us, we'll drive it to you.
Good to go Waynesboro.com.
There's nothing.
Risers. Beat the deadline now through the end of the month.
Start something new sales event at Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Get instant credit approval.
3.9% on Jeep Grand Cherokees.
Good to go, Waynesboro.com. First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group. You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
We're going from below freezing temps to short sleeve weather in just a handful of days. Just ahead, we'll have the latest on this roller coaster weather. But first, it's been 2 years since an 8-year-old girl was killed in a drive-by shooting in Augusta. Aubrey Anthony was shot while petting a horse outside of her Dogwood Terrace apartment on January 6, 2022. Since her death, there have been marches, book bag drives, memorials, and more in her honor. But what her family still hopes for is justice. Our Hallie Turner is live in the newsroom for us. And Hallie, where does this case stand right now?
Yeah, well, at the first of the month, this case was on the court calendar where it had a chance to be called on to go to trial within the next 3 weeks. But as of this week, that case was postponed to a later date. For 2 years, Aubrey's family says they've been patiently waiting for the day their case makes it in front of a jury. It finally made it on the calendar call this month, but Aubrey's aunt says emotions have been high and low. Every single time they step back in a courtroom, it's as if that January day replays all over again, and the fight for justice grows stronger. Jamila says they had so much hope when they thought this case was going to trial. But when Judge Wright's gavel hit the desk Monday morning, moving the case to another date that has yet to be set, Aubrey's family wasn't aware.
We didn't know anything about the continuance. Like I said, when I talked to you the other day, you don't know what to think, honestly, when they keep pushing it off and keep pushing it off. But we want to make sure she gets served. We want to make sure everybody still remembers her. It's a very frustrating feeling.
Now, coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're hearing more about how they're coping with all of this.
All right, thanks, Hallie. Hopefully that family can get some justice and some closure very soon. Switching gears to weather now, as you're on the full forecast for you in just a bit. All right, thanks, Riley. Glen Hill's High leaders say a gun was found on campus today. In a letter sent home to parents, they say a weapon was found on a student during a fight. The school police responded and removed that weapon. The school says this incident is being addressed by the school police and the student code of conduct. And at Burke County Middle School, a juvenile was caught distributing CBD gummies on the school premises today. The school administration says the on-site SRO ensured that all students were safe there. It says the gummies were purchased online. Sheriff's Office also suggests monitoring your children's online activities and phone usage. The search for an attempted murder suspect is over in Aiken County after a week of searching. Deputies say Matthew Fields is now in custody after running away from authorities last week on Monarch Street. Fields is accused of shooting at a victim on Myrtle Street on the 7th. He was taken into custody earlier this morning. An Aiken teenager is dead after a vehicle crash this morning. The Aiken County coroner says 18-year-old Emily Heath was driving on Green Pond Road at Modoc Lane when the vehicle crossed the center line. Officers say that the vehicle then overcorrected and hit a tree at around 10 this morning. South Carolina Highway Patrol is investigating that crash. Just 2 weeks after an EF2 tornado sweeps through Bamberg, FEMA officials are out and assessing the damage in the area. Bamberg leaders officially declared a state of emergency for the county this week. Debris still litters the area, and many buildings and homes in the town were severely damaged. Although nobody was injured from the storms, people's lives were changed forever. Today's visit by FEMA will help figure out how much money can go towards recovery efforts. All new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, our Sydney Hood has the latest on how the city is faring. Aiken County has some of the highest cases of human trafficking in South Carolina. That's according to a recent report released by Attorney General Alan Wilson. Now today, Nick Velan is breaking down what a regional nonprofit is seeing and what you need to know about human trafficking.
Numbers are rising, but are they? It's more the number of cases being reported are growing.
Awareness might be increasing. I think that this is a crime that is way bigger than any of us ever realized.
Lisa Kerr with Lighthouse for Life educate and empower those out of a building in Columbia, South Carolina that used to be used for sex trafficking.
Restore it, renovate it, make it into a place of hope and healing so that those same individuals could come back into this property and get the care that they need.
They helped 40 survivors last year, and in our backyard, the fourth largest amount of reports in South Carolina came from Aiken County. Aiken County has 24 open cases from 2023, and she says that trafficking happens anywhere.
It's in all of our schools, it's in probably all of our churches, the ones I've been to. It's in our neighborhoods, our communities. It was 5 doors down from me, and I didn't know it. It was in my school when I was a teacher, and I didn't know it. And that's not fair.
Preying on people's vulnerabilities with the pitch of giving them a better life.
Why would somebody not pursue that? And that's how our families are getting victimized.
Once someone gets trafficked, it's hard to get them out.
When somebody does become victimized in the life, we would say there's a low ball average of someone being violated over 1,800 times in 1 year.
For parents, it's about knowing the signs, like a change of behavior and secret relationships. Lighthouse for Life is a place to go to turn the tables and give survivors hope.
Their stories of brokenness blow your mind, that one, humanity can be that cruel, but also at the strength in these individuals, and then to get to watch them get their life back and bring that hope back into their story.
They continue to fight through educated communities. Lighthouse for Life will be a part of another conversation in Barnwell next week to further address these issues across the state. Today in Columbia County, a Health Careers Expo is giving students a better idea of what they can do once they enter the workforce. Hundreds of high schoolers got to meet with colleges and professionals to learn what it takes to work in the healthcare industry. Expos like this are crucial to combating the growing shortage of physicians, which is projected to grow over the coming years. Our Taylor Martin shows us what students thought of today's event tonight at 6 o'clock. Georgia lawmakers want to keep more money in your wallet. We'll break down how coming up next. Riley.
And tomorrow we are expecting a few spots to get close to 80 degrees. We'll see how long this warm air sticks around, and also those rain chances coming up just after the break. Time and weekend. Temperatures staying well above average through Sunday, but into next week, starting to feel a little bit more like January again.
Thanks, Riley. Returning more money to Georgia taxpayers. That's the goal of a handful of bills now being discussed by state lawmakers. Our State House reporter Abby Kasoris has a roundup of plans hitting the floor and what it could mean for your wallet.
House Speaker John Burns throwing his weight behind legislation that would have you paying less on your taxes. He's relying on GOP leaders to present and carry those bills.
As a result of some things coming out of Washington with President Biden, with our 40-year high in inflation.
The Speaker of the House, John Burns, denouncing federal spending while addressing Georgia's new plan for tax relief. Representative Matt Reeves is pushing a bill increasing the homestead tax exemption from $2,000 to $4,000, saving homeowners roughly $100 million across the state.
This corrects the number after decades of being the same. And
Representative Lauren McDonald carrying a bill reducing the income tax percentage from 5.49% to 5.39%, returning more than $1 billion to taxpayers.
We've continued over these years giving back $1 billion in property tax, giving back $1 billion in tax rebates back to the citizens. This time we're going to continue doing it on the front end.
And Representative Lauren Daniel and her 5-month-old Zane will be carrying a bill increasing the child tax credit from $3,000 to $4,000 per child.
We are hit with rising costs at the grocery store. We're hit with rising costs in childcare. We're hit with rising costs to, afford our mortgages. And so this is something that helps and hopefully will continue to help every family in the state.
The Speaker also wants to remove a cap on the state's rainy day fund. After the state's economists projected we're heading toward the recession in the next couple of months. This could ensure the state could use some of the $16 billion surplus to pay for unexpected expenses. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasoris.
Yeah, I'm not going to say who it is, but one of our viewers forwarded me a Facebook scam, and it's one making the rounds again. I'm Jamie Tucker. Coming up, what it looks like, what it does, and what happens when you click on it.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Are you turning 65 soon? At 64 Insurance Group, we know how confusing Medicare can be. Let us guide you through the entire process. And by the way, you don't pay a penny for our services. Don't wait until you're 65 to call. For you64.com.
There are trucks.
Brett, what are you doing?
Laminating some stuff.
First off, pretty sure that's a federal offense. And second, that's for our customers to laminate their Medicare cards when they come in for a commitment-free consultation.
My bad.
For U64.com.
A nasty Facebook scam is making the rounds again, and there's a good chance you may see it as you post or have a Facebook message. Well, here's what our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker found out.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
In their defense, the viewer didn't know they had actually sent this scam to the What the Tech Facebook page. In fact, it might not actually have been them. It may have been someone pretending to be them. But this scam is going around the country again.
Here's the scam. You've probably seen it and even clicked on it. It's a poster message that says, "Look who died, and I think you know him," followed by several crying emoji. There's also a link to what appears to be a news report. What happens if you click on it? Well, instead of going to the news story, you're prompted to sign into your Facebook account to see it. Well, it isn't a Facebook login, though. It's a fake site. If you enter your username and password, the bad guys can log into your Facebook account. They can also change your Facebook password, and you won't be able to log back in. At the very least, the scammers will use your account to try and scam your friends and clone their accounts. It happens thousands of times a day. Pay attention to where a link is going, not to a news outlet, but to websites with strange names. The posts almost always tag you or some of your friends, maybe both. They also come through as Facebook messages from friends who've had their Facebook profiles compromised. If you have clicked on a link and entered your login information, go ahead and change your password as quickly as possible, and everyone should have two-factor authentication turned on to make it more difficult for the hackers to change passwords.
Remember, these Facebook scams can be forwarded to you by friends who you think are too smart to fall for a Facebook scam. And remember, it's never a good idea to enter your Facebook login information anywhere. There's really no reason you should ever have to do that. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
You should also report the post or message to Facebook and notify the friend it supposedly came from. Well, due to the new rules surrounding when NFL teams are allowed to hold
tomorrow. In the NBA, the Hawks are continuing their West Coast road trip tonight, but once again, they'll be without their star point guard Trae Young, who has been ruled out for this game while recovering from a concussion he suffered over the weekend. Now, back on the home front, Christenberry Fieldhouse is the place to be tonight. As we speak, the AU women's basketball team is going head-to-head with Lander, a team that's currently 6-0 in conference play. The Jags are only one game back, sitting at 5-1 in the Peach Belt, with a great opportunity for a statement win on their home floor.
I think the biggest thing is keeping the main thing. You know, staying to our principles, defensively, offensively, playing with confidence, like playing with a chip on our shoulder. You know, after a loss, you know, being able to bounce back, you know, respond to adversity, learn from our mistakes so that we can be better the next go around.
When Coach Stewart was the interim head coach last season, she led the Jags to beat Lander twice. I'll have the highlights from the Jaguars women's and men's games tonight at 11.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. We are expecting warm temps to stick around at least through the weekend. Highs will be in the 70s over the next couple of days. I'm going to look at that forecast just after the break.
He was going to tell me it's believed on today.
An elephant right here in Georgia celebrating his 37th birthday. Bo the Asian elephant lives at the South Georgia Refuge in Attapulgis, Georgia. To celebrate Bo, he got a huge basket of fresh fruits and vegetables, followed by a spa day. Now, the refuge says that Bo is known for his calm demeanor and sweet disposition. He weighs 12,000 pounds and stands at 10 feet 6 inches tall. Bo worked as a circus elephant for 29 years before retiring in 2021. Now he spends his days basking in the Georgia sun, according to the refuge. Asian elephants can live into their 70s.
Wow.
New information. I did not know that.
So he had an early retirement, and he gets to just bask in the sun there in South Georgia for a good while.
Getting some spa days for his birthday. Can't complain too much. Good retirement there.
Absolutely. Looks like he's got a good friend right there that he gets to hang out with on the farm, too, or the reserve. So good stuff there. And he looks like he's very healthy, enjoying himself. So never know what type of animals you'll see here in the South. always popping up.
12,000 pounds, too.
That's a big boy right there. And we do have a little bit of fog trying to form already on the Savannah River. This is one thing we are going to have to watch out for tonight and early tomorrow is this dense fog forming across the area again. So if you're going to be out after midnight tonight and around sunrise tomorrow morning, there's going to be some low visibility and a few showers still hanging around. This is between Augusta and Aiken. We just have some very light rain passing through Aiken County, not a ton with it. And I would imagine rain chances do remain very isolated the rest of tonight. You can see some heavier rain, though, well west of us. This is going to try to make its way towards us by early tomorrow morning. What's expected to happen, though, is it just kind of skirts the western and northern CS area. It doesn't really impact a ton of us here in Augusta, but we'll have the opportunity maybe for a few showers out there early tomorrow. So I would pack the umbrella in the backpack tomorrow. How about tomorrow afternoon? Mid-70s for those high temps, so only getting warmer, and we'll stay with highs in the 70s at least through Saturday. Storm chances will be with us, though, as we close out the weekend. Finally, rain-free late in the day Sunday.
Thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
The AFC